Good evening, everyone. Policymakers at the Federal Reserve kicked off a two-day meeting in Washington on interest rates. And on Wall Street, investors launched a rally, powering the Dow over the 17,000 threshold. Now, today's gains were fueled by confidence that the Fed will keep interest rates at super low levels, also helping a string of positive earnings, reassuring investors about the health of corporate America. And it was small cap stocks like biotechs and social media firms, not the big blue chips, that helped the beaten down Russell 2000 index post a gain of nearly 3%. Here's how things looked at the closing bell. The Dow shot up 187 points, the Nasdaq jumped 78 points, a nearly 2% leap, and the S&P added 23 points. Steve Leisman takes a look now at what top economists are expecting to hear from the central bank tomorrow and what may be next.
2 years and $1.6 trillion later, the Federal Reserve is set to end its bond buying program known on the street as QE3, or the third round of quantitative easing since the Great Recession. Wall Street is in general agreement that the Fed will vote to end the program, but the real question is, what comes next? According to the CNBC October Fed survey of Wall Street experts, the central bank is seen raising interest rates only in July 2015 and then hiking them only gradually, up to a final point of just 3.3% by the fourth quarter of 2017. That would be the longest, mildest rate hike cycle ever. The street even pushed ahead its forecast for the first rate hike amid growing concerns about growth in Europe and the spread of Ebola, with survey respondents twice as concerned about the global risk from Europe as they were from Ebola.
If the ECB doesn't get its act together and sort of thwart the deflation trends that are happening in Europe, I think they could drag us down. There is nothing worse for us in a disinflationary environment than to have to import deflation from Europe. So I think that's the thing that needs to be addressed, and if it is, we should be just fine.
In fact, Europe even ranked as the biggest threat to the U.S. recovery, outpacing slow job growth and tax and regulatory policies. Not to worry. 3 out of 4 respondents think the European Central Bank will follow in the Fed's footsteps and announce its own QE program as soon as February. Overall, the street maintains a fairly upbeat view of the U.S. economy in 2015, looking for 2.9% growth even while the Fed is expected to hike rates. The chance of recession, just 15% in the next 12 months. Oh, and not everyone is convinced QE is going away forever anyway. Survey respondents see about a 1 in 6 chance of another round of QE in the next 2 years. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Steve Leisman.